Hello, hockey, basketball, and soccer fans. My name is David. Thought I would start this video. What's the time? A bit after 9 on the evening of Monday, 29th of July, 2024, North American Eastern Daylight Time. Whoops, sorry that. Just going to do that there. Sorry, just fell over. Alright, so I'm going to discuss the couple videos put out by Shan the Hockey Guy. One on Midsummer Power Rankings he'd done of various NHL teams, we'll leave 32. Just want to take a note here at the that before I continue, please make sure that if you do end up liking the video, to click that like button. If you want to subscribe to my channel, easy to do. Click the subscribe button, and so video subscribing is optional, but it does help my channel, help get the video out there about various sports that I like to cover, mainly hockey, basketball, and soccer in that order for much of the year. But there's no ice hockey or any hockey of any kind any Canadian team is doing for the Olympics, so I'm going to wait until the Hlinka Gretzky Cup when the under-18 men's Canadian team is in action. I forget what the dates are, but stay tuned. Coming up at some point in August. So let's see here, and also make sure that if you do want to go beyond just liking or subscribing, to click the notification bell. I do try to put out videos at least every other week, or at least multiple times a week if I can. I know during the summer it's not easy, but during the Olympic Games, at a minimum, I look forward to watching as many of those soccer and basketball games to be played by the relevant Canadian teams. Women's, in the case of soccer, in the case of 5-on-5, the men's and women's 3-on-3, only the women qualified. So enough on the Olympic stuff. Like subscribing, whatever. We go to the Winnipeg Jets, and yes, it's interesting that in the power rankings, Shan the Hockey Guy claimed the Jets had deserved to be ranked among Canadian teams number 3, behind the second place Canucks and first place Oilers, but ahead of the respectively ranked 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th place Leafs, Sens, Habs, and Flames. Again, in terms of the playoff, in terms of playoff success or not, or in terms of how many games lasted, the Oilers by a country mile lasted the longest. Indeed, ended up coming within just one goal of tying that final game of the Stanley Cup Final against the Panthers. And had the Oilers scored one more goal, it could very well have gone over. That game could have gone to overtime, and it could have been the Oilers winning it. But yes, the Panthers won the Stanley Cup, so I get that. So Canucks were ranked number 2 among Canadian teams. Well, understandably, because they didn't get anywhere near as far as the Oilers. The Canucks and Oilers faced each other in that conference semifinal, and although the Canucks had a 3-2 lead, in the end, lack of scoring by the Canucks in a timely enough way doomed the Canucks at the expense of doomed the Canucks, and the season was over. It'll be interesting to find out what happens during the Canucks' current upcoming season, but now I'm going to go to the Jets and Leafs, and yes, we'll also agree with Shan the Hockey Guy that the Sens, Habs, and Flames kind of should be ranked where they are, and among Canadian teams at least. I have a question. I have to wonder about the Leafs and the Jets. Let's take a look. The Winnipeg Jets lasted all of 5 games in the postseason. And each of those games, they allowed, wait for it, at least this many goals. Jets have played this many consecutive playoff games during which they've allowed, at least this many goals. The Jets allowed in each game of their most recent playoff series at least 4 goals before taking into account empty net goals. I seem to recall the Leafs allowed 4 goals in just one game, and 4 more in just one, I believe it was. And they ended up playing this many games when they allowed less than this many goals. How many of the Jets played where they allowed fewer than this many? In last postseason, this many, none. So that's the thing. In terms of, I know Shannon the Hockey Guy had a deeper discussion about the Winnipeg Jets and how far they might get this coming season. And well, I'd say that if the Jets do make it into the Stanley Cup playoffs, I believe I still going to, at least, say that they should finish in the top 5, more likely to finish in the top 5 of the Central Division than below that. But still, I mean, I'm just going to take a look here. So, when I think of the Central Division, I see the Blues, Minnesota Wild, Chicago Blackhawks, not in any particular order, finish in the bottom 3. Whereas I see the remaining teams in the Central in no particular order: Utah Hockey Club, Jets, Dallas Stars, Avs, and Preds compete for for positioning within the top 5. I mean, maybe the Utah Hockey Club won't finish in the top 5, but again, I think those are the teams I picked to finish in the top 5 in the Central Division. So, but again, the Winnipeg Jets have not made a whole boatload of improvements in this offseason. They haven't wowed me with any big name signings. The Jets needed more of those types of the heavy hitters, like the type that Chris Tanev often did before this month with the Dallas Stars. The Leafs acquired Tanev's negotiation rights late last month and then signed him to a contract. Time will tell how well the Tanev contract ages. But again, even Brad Treliving, who wasn't the greatest GM of the Calgary Flames, at least tried to address the blue line. And a heavy hitter, Chris Tanev, maybe Tanev will help. Yes, but again, what do the Winnipeg Jets do? Do they acquire a Tanev type? Not that I can follow. Not that I can recall. So there's no question the Winnipeg Jets haven't really wowed me with their the radical overhaul that they needed to their blue line. I mean, maybe they need their young players and all that. Well, aren't they in a win now mode? Didn't Kevin Cheveldayoff, longtime GM, indeed the only GM of a Canadian NHL team to have started his tenure before January 2020, been with the team for so long? Didn't he have a guy? Didn't he try to trade away whole sorts of draft picks for Tyler Toffoli and Sean Monahan? How'd those do? Well, it's the same result in terms of how long the Winnipeg Jets lasted. 5 games. That's right. 5 games in the postseason. So my prediction for the Winnipeg Jets is, if they get in the postseason, barring radical changes that they make before the 2025 NHL trade deadline, are likely to go no further in the postseason than 5 games to whatever opponent they face. So Jets fans and observers, don't get your hopes up, because this Winnipeg Jets team, come playoff time, is a disaster. Or has been a disaster for the last 9 games. Who knows if the next game they play in the postseason will go any better than any of the previous 5 did. I mean, yeah, the Jets won their first game of that postseason, of that 2024 postseason, 7-6 in regulation. That's right. The Jets had to score 7 goals just to win. It's remarkable they even scored that many. So they've had trouble scoring 3 or more. They've had trouble scoring 3 or more in quite a few games. Indeed, they only scored 3 or more in one of their next in one of their one game after game number 1. That was in game 5, and that was in the third period, and they tied things up. Apologize for the microwave beeping, all that. Let's get some potatoes I heated up. Let's check on those after this video I make. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap things up and say Winnipeg Jets are not likely to go far in the postseason. They're likely to last, if they get in the 25 Stanley Cup playoffs, 5 games against whichever opponent they face. So enjoy the ride, because this season is going to be one heck of an interesting one. On that note, I'm going to say with respect to teams which I cheer, go Leafs go Raptors go Toronto FC go, and with respect to Canadian national teams for which I cheer, go Canada go. Oh, I forgot as well, before I go P2IHL Toronto go. And now I'm going to wrap up this video and say good night.